of the cult, you guys want to see how bad it's getting? DOJ announces plan to prioritize stripping Americans of citizenship. Department of Justice aggressively prioritizing efforts to strip some Americans of their U.S. citizenship, directing its attorneys to prioritize denaturalization in cases involving denaturalized citizens who commit certain crimes. I mean, to be fair, Stephen Miller's basically said anyone who's not white. I think he said there'd be less than 100 million people left if it was up to him. Alligator, Auschwitz, Florida edition, yeah. New Auschwitz dropped. Benny Johnson has already hit up their gift shop. Well, of course he has, because, you know, he's a Nazi. I was hoping for more than 3 days of hopium from Zoran's primary win. Well, yeah, you probably were hoping for a bit much there, but he is still important here. I mean, Trump's threatening him today. We're going to have a look at him responding to Trump's threat to arrest and deport him. This is different.
Sleepy swamps, not so sleepy anymore. Now a major part of Donald Trump's migrant crackdown. This long-abandoned airstrip in the middle of nowhere transformed into a brand new 5,000 capacity detention center to temporarily hold those arrested by immigration teams before they're deported.
As I call it, Alligator Alcatraz.
Florida's Attorney General launched it with this movie trailer style explainer.
They're doing the Nuremberg laws minus the laws part. They're passing a bill to increase funding for the Gestapo tenfold. Well, to be fair, I mean, like, the big, beautiful bill is the Kill America bill, and that's going to pass. That passed the Senate, and now it's back to the House. We have to catch up on that, too. By the way, if you see updates on that while we're streaming, let me know, please.
Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, has been rounding up undocumented migrants nationwide. The president
Those were the most
a winning
Floridian,
election promise.
We will begin the largest deportation operation in the history of the United States.
Even mulling the idea of reopening Alcatraz,
Yay, another
the infamous
Auschwitz.
California prison on a rock surrounded by water. Here in Florida, this facility bringing that dream to life in a new, very different way.
Look, you guys understand, right, that every Republican is frothing at the mouth thinking about these alligators, like, eating people, like, feeding people to the alligators. Not even people trying to escape and then getting eaten by them. No, like, they want to feed people to the alligators. They're fantasizing about it. That's why they're there.
That you can see, and for every one of these there are many more that are lurking beneath the surface. Anybody who is on the run here is not likely to get very far at all, which is why the Everglades is proving so attractive to the government. The facility is reportedly costing $450 million a year, with some of the money coming from FEMA.
They stole the disaster money and they're using it to fund Auschwitz. Yeah, all of the people in Florida who have their houses destroyed this hurricane season. I hope you think that the death camp was worth paying for with your disaster money.
Major natural disasters.
They stole disaster relief money to create a disaster.
In a detention camp.
Alcatraz has aura, but it's also a headache to run, staff supply, hence its choice for Alcatraz on a budget in the Florida boondocks. Yeah, I've been to Alcatraz. There's a reason why it closed down, and there's a reason why we don't have any intention of opening it again, or rather we didn't. One, because it's a horrible place. B, because it costs a lot of money. C, because we don't need it. Lots and lots and lots of reasons, really, but yeah. He does really just love movies. I'm still like 100% certain that he came up with that idea watching Escape from Alcatraz one night.
In the middle of the Florida summer, in the middle of the Everglades swamp, in the middle of hurricane season, in a bunch of tents with no adequate infrastructure, running water. It's just
what do you mean? Of course it's privatized. Like, it's just
about the
like
environment.
not in the same way. It's subsidized, but privatized. There's still going to be corporations making bank off of this place. I've never seen it.
Governor has used emergency powers to
also
commandeer the
those
site,
FEMA
and it is
concentration
surrounded
camps
by
that
indigenous
Alex
land.
Jones spent 3 decades ranting about. They're finally here, run by the guy Alex Jones defended. Yay. You know, every accusation really is a confession. I'm more vindicated on this every passing day. There's not a thing that they have thrown at Democrats or the left broadly that they themselves are not trying to create in the real world.
But the government's leaning in. Local Republicans
My
even
God.
selling Alligator Alcatraz merch. The
Sorry, what I
Department of
missed
Homeland
that.
Security
Yes.
sharing memes of
$27
alligators
for a
as
hat about a death camp.
Alcatraz merch. The department's leaning in. Local Republicans even selling
This is literally,
Alligator Alcatraz merch.
imagine in Nazi Germany getting a hat that said Polish Auschwitz or something. I don't know. $27 for a hat in Florida. Fascism is the merging of the state and the private sector, so that explains this. That is true. Well, fascism is capitalism in decay, but
merch. The
really
Department
same
of Homeland
difference.
Security sharing memes of alligators as ICE agents. President Trump and his Homeland Security Secretary will open it on Tuesday as campaigners are suing to close it. But with plans
How about
to
we
build another
lobotomize
north
the
of
people who
Miami,
think that
and
this
the
is a good
government's
idea
cranking up
instead,
its
brain matter?
immigration crackdown.
No, like I said, yeah, they want to create Killer Croc. They're not thinking about people
The long fight
escaping
ahead.
and getting
Film of
eaten by an alligator. They want to feed people to the alligators. They are horny for it. This is, you know, right outside. It's sort of this same slogan on the gates of Auschwitz-Birkenau. Well, what's the slogan for this one? Please lobotomize me? I don't know. By the way, like, yeah. Trump visited today. We'll have a look. Here's what the inside looks like. Work will set you free. I'm not sure how much work they're going to be doing here. I don't know if this is the work kind of camp or the death kind of camp. You know, you don't tend to build a moat and fill it with alligators if you, yeah. I don't know. I mean, it could be both. Then again, like, I don't have confirmation on this, but there's reports of planes that are taking off full of people every now and again. Like, not most of them, but some of them that are arriving with no people on board. And it makes me think of Argentina a little bit back in the day, you know, when they would fill dissidents and, you know, undesirables up onto planes and then just kind of drop them into the ocean. That is cheaper than a gas chamber. Who have they outsourced the gas chambers to? Private prison companies, mostly. And, I mean, at the moment, probably those crocodiles. Core Civic, though, Geo Group, primarily, yeah. I mean, we already have gas chambers in American prisons. Didn't we kill someone on death row in, like, Alabama this year already with chlorine gas, I'm pretty sure? Oh, is it nitrogen gas? It was nitrogen gas. It was last year. Alabama did it. It went poorly, if I might recall. Yes, it did. This looks like the plot of a sci-fi movie. So let's have a deeper look at this facility. And by facility, I mean, death camp.
It's known as Alligator Alcatraz, which is very appropriate because I looked outside and that's not a place I want to go hiking anytime soon. But very soon, this facility will house some of the most menacing migrants, some of the most vicious people on the planet.
If
We're
only
surrounded by
it
miles
did
of treacherous
actually,
swampland, and the only way out is
I don't know. exist to house the most dangerous people on the planet, because you would be in that place and so would everyone else in the regime. And like, yeah, like Trump would ever go fucking hiking. Trump has no ability to even really walk. All the people have been waiting to be able to do this their whole lives. Oh yeah, no, they're so happy about this. When will we see community-based defenses repel this shit? I don't think we're gonna see that in America. Not until it's too late to do it on a scale big enough to stop it.
Is really deportation, and a lot of these people are self-deporting back to their country where they came from. Quite a few were amazed at actually the number.
And right here in this location, we'll have about 3,000 beds. Other location will have another 2,000 beds that will allow us to bring individuals across the country that we are bringing in and
all of you should be in this fucking camp then, because all of you keep violating the laws.
The country as soon as we possibly can.
And when you walk into the processing, the president
those are concentration camps. Yes, they are.
Through that initial intake, the first
that's
thing
what
you
we're spending $160 billion on, by the way. That's what ICE's budget has been. Can we agree that alligators are awesome? Yeah, you know what? Like, the alligators don't want to be doing this. The alligators would rather eat these
deportations that are going to be done by the administration, but I think you're going to have a lot of voluntary as well. So this is a force multiplier.
We should feed,
for the president's efforts.
You know, the ICE agents to these alligators. That's what ICE should be doing. If they really wanted to protect the community, they would feed themselves to these alligators. These people would be of more use to society as alligator food. Trump wants to put in sharks in the San Francisco harbor too. They just hate you. By the way, Floridians hate this. People who live in Florida, even Republicans, hate this.
Standing here in the heart of the Everglades in a place called Okeechobee, Florida. We have crowds of protesters behind me because President Donald Trump is visiting today this remote airstrip where Florida officials have built a detention
Alligator
center
Auschwitz.
for migrants. They're calling it Alligator Alcatraz.
Oh yeah, the Everglades is dead. Guys, come on, let's be real. The environment is dead. And remember, this is for you. DOJ has announced their plans to prioritize revoking citizenship for a reason. What's up, McSecular?
Seen some of them swimming in the canal alongside the highway. Protesters are here to denounce what they say is inhumane way to scare migrants.
These are terrorists, mind you. What they really want are gas chambers, but they'll take alligators. Mate, we have gas chambers. We already do. Alabama has been using them since last year for executions of people on death row because there's a shortage for whatever the they were using before. Let's have a look at some of the statements Trump's made about Auschwitz, because this is for us, you know, like that's where they want to send us.
Dana Marie McNichol, Fox News Channel. Mr. President, is there an expected time frame that detainees will spend here, days, weeks, months? And does that have anything to do with the immigration judges you just spoke about being trained and staffed here?
When you say, what was the first part of your question?
Is there a specific time frame you expect the detainees to spend here? Days, weeks, months?
In Florida?
Oh,
Yes.
we're having a Biden moment here.
Look, this is my home state. I love it. I love your government. I love all the people around. These are all friends of mine.
Someone didn't get his adrenochrome today.
Well. I mean, I'm not surprised that they do so well. They're great people.
Trained and staffed here.
When you say, what was the first part of your question?
Is there a specific time frame you expect the detainees to spend here? Days, weeks, months?
In Florida?
Yes, here at Alligator
I'm going to
Alcatraz.
spend a lot. Look, this is my home state.
Fantastic.
I love it. I love your government. I love all the people around. These are all friends
He
of mine.
did not get his adrenochrome today.
I'm not surprised
Fucking
that they
idiot.
do
Yeah.
so well.
Holy shit, this is a 2-minute video. We're on 37 seconds. What the is he going on about for 2 minutes?
Great people.
Well, they asked him how long the detainees
Ron
were
has
going
been
to
a friend
stay
of
in the
mine for a
camp,
long
and he
time.
answers, in Florida? Oh, I love Florida. I'll be staying here all the time. Like, here, one more time, sorry.
Dana Marie McNichol, Fox News Channel. Mr. President, is there an expected time frame that detainees will spend here, days, weeks, months? And does that have anything to do with the immigration judges you just spoke about being trained and staffed here?
When you say, what was the first part of your question? Who?
Is there a specific time frame you expect the detainees
I'm so
to
tired
spend
of this
here,
timeline.
days, weeks, months?
In Florida?
Yes, here at
I'm gonna
Alligator
spend- I'm going to
Alcatraz.
spend a lot. Look, this is my home state. I love it. I love your government. I
even,
love
like,
all the people
are we
around. These
doing?
are all friends of mine. They
Y'all.
know them very well. I mean, I'm not surprised that they do so well. They're great people. Ron has been a friend of mine for a long time. I feel very comfortable in the state.
I'm
I'll
sorry,
spend a lot of time
certified
here.
garbage. I know that this
I
is
wanna,
your home state,
for
but I
4 years.
cannot wait for Poseidon to reclaim this land for his kingdom.
I've got to be in Washington, and I'm okay with it because I
I
love the
wish he
White House.
was.
I even fix up the little Oval Office. I make it, it's like a diamond. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It wasn't maintained properly, I will tell you that. But even
This is
when it wasn't, it was
the
still
most
the Oval
nonsense
Office, so it meant a
I've heard
lot.
him talk in a while, actually. He must be having a pretty bad day. Well, it's okay. It's probably because he was tired from having so much fun laughing about the death camp that they're opening, you know? Laughing in front of a cage under a tent in the middle of a swamp, surrounded by alligators, where they plan to hold human beings whose only crime, actually, no crime necessary, in fact. Again, no crime necessary. All you have to do is not be born here, not come into the country illegally. No, that's not the plan anymore. Nope. It's to come for you if you were not born here. The civil division shall prioritize and maximally pursue denaturalization proceedings in all cases permitted by law and supported by the evidence. Actually, one of the top 5 enforcement priorities. Up next, even if you were born here. The DOJ memo says that the federal government will pursue via civil litigation, and especially concerning MOVE. Sure. In civil proceedings, any individual subject to denaturalization is not entitled to an attorney. Oh, so you're not even entitled to a lawyer. Love that. You don't get a lawyer anymore either. That's, you know, straight up, pretty honest. Like, they're not even trying to hide it. There's also a lower burden of proof for the government to reach, and it is easier and faster to reach a conclusion in these cases. What is this all of a sudden? I don't get it. He should just play golf and leave us alone. This is Miller, not him. He doesn't do shit. Trans people are on that list too, right before political dissidents. That's true. America is dead. The Heritage Foundation killed it. What is the point of all this? Death. That's the point. It's death. According to June 11th memo published online, the move is aimed at U.S. citizens who were not born in the country, according to data from 2013. So any immigrant at all, as long as you were not born in this country. And let's take this back for a second. Let's remember who they go after and how they go after you in other cases. Let's look at what they're doing to immigrants. Let's say you were born in this country, but your wife wasn't. Let's say your kids were, but your wife wasn't. Well, sorry, your wife and your kids are now under threat. Does that mean 100% they will come for your wife and children? No, not necessarily. But does it mean that they can? Yes. Now, does it mean you're safe? No, you're just like further down the line. It's almost like this was their plan all along, and lots and lots and lots of people were shouting, they're gonna come for you too, for a long time. I mean, even months after the election, I was getting both messages from people saying, I can't wait to put you in a death camp. And there are no death camps. What the fuck are you talking about? We're not building any camps. He's not building any camps. Stop lying. Like, on both ends. And honestly, like, I'm sure they're still saying that. I'm sure even as they're doing this, they are still saying that there's no camps. And, I mean, here's from the horse's mouth.
I'd like to say, you know, a little controversial, but I couldn't care less.
By the way, like, little
we have a lot of
controversial,
bad
but I
criminals
couldn't
that came
care
into
less.
the,
Interesting way to put that.
I'd like to say, you know, a little controversial, but I couldn't care less. We have a lot of bad criminals that came into this country, and they came in stupidly. It was an unforced error. It was an incompetent president that allowed it to happen. It was
Free breakfast banana. They don't even go after the gang members. They're too afraid to go into areas where there are gangs because they'll get shot at. They don't even do that. Who shot at? Like ICE agents. They don't go certified garbage. ICE agents don't go and arrest actual gang members because they're afraid of getting shot. The gang members will shoot back. Even as their families are being taken to death camps, they'll keep denying it and kissing the ring. That's true. But that place, they can't breathe, I heard. Yeah. There's also no food or water or medicine. Like, people are dying in these camps already. What is the area of California called? GTA SA is literally based the San Andreas fault line? Or is that what you're saying? They have different gangs on every block? Oh, yeah, like Compton. No, like Compton is an example. ICE doesn't go into Compton. They've said that they don't go into Compton. And it's because they'll get shot in Compton. And Compton has also, like, remember, like, there was a protest in Compton before the main protest in Los Angeles. The gangs in Compton ended that protest because the protest would have meant the cops showed up, and the gangs don't want the cops there either. So, like, that's a whole other thing. There's an ecosystem there. They would immediately collect like 20 gangs, and each of them would be on their ass. That's true. We need community safety gangs. Yes, we do. Get your guns together and make one. ICE agents go to immigration court and Home Depot to arrest people. They don't go anywhere near where the gangs are. That's true. I've seen some vids. The Mexican gang guys, like, yeah, no, that's the thing. Certified garbage. The Mexican cartel gangs are fucking terrifying. ICE is too afraid to go anywhere near those people. Yeah, they're absolutely terrifying. You know, we arm them, right? Like, we arm them. They look like ICE members. Like, for a lot of them do. Yes, we do. 70% of their guns come from the United States. Was it 80? It's 70 or 80, one or the other. All I know is Mexico's literally suing us for that. Maybe we can hire MS-13 to fight ICE. They might have. Like, I don't know if they did or didn't. Like, all I know is there are definitely some ICE agents who are not white Americans. But I mean, here are CJNG members in an undisclosed forested region of Mexico. The image shows one member wielding a Barrett 50 caliber rifle, another an M20 249 saw light machine gun, and a third holding a portable anti-drone device, likely Chinese made. That's the anti-drone device. Actually, that could be in the American version. I don't know. The rest of those, definitely. Yeah, I bought some gear from Airsoft Games. Cheap tube, not armor, real guns. Like, no, I mean, like, they buy real weapons. We sell them most of their weapons. And to be clear, like, it's not like that's a new thing. We've done this historically. Remember, we were enemies with Iran, but selling guns to Iran so that we could use the money from that to fund, like, a proxy war in Lebanon back in Reagan's days. There are many non-white ICE agents or maggots who desperately want to be one of the good ones. Yeah, bootlickers. Make drugs legal and the cartels lose all their money. I just solved the problem. I've been saying that for 15, 20 years. Then we proved it too when a lot of America legalized cannabis and the cartels got really mad and then they stopped, selling cannabis. They moved on. Anyway, that's not who this is for. That's not who the camps are for. That's not who gets put in our brand new little Auschwitz center here. No, it's not. This is for you and me. Day one at Alligator Alcatraz, Alligator Auschwitz, where 28,000 feet of razor wire now surrounds 39 square mile site. Trump will join DeSantis here on Tuesday, which he did. We'll open with 1,000 beds today. Max capacity, 3,000 detainees. For now, they're continuing to build it out. 1,000 staff, hundreds of cameras. These are rated to withstand Category 2 hurricanes. So, I don't know, Category 3, Category 4? So, Nazi shit? Yeah. Minority Report shit? Yeah. Yeah, that's it. So it's going to blow over. Yes. All of the people in this building are going to die when a Category 3 or 4 hurricane hits it.
A lot of bad people that have been here for a long time. People that whack people over the head with a baseball bat from behind when they're not looking and kill them.
Mr. President, ICE does that every day. And worse. Jesus Christ. Like, can we acknowledge that ICE is a terrorist organization? Death to ICE. I'm surprised Trump hasn't started a mass surveillance campaign yet. Yes, he did. He literally, that's what Palantir is.
Down the street. They're not new to our country. They're old to our country. Many of them were born in our country.
We've had MQ-9 Reapers flying over LA and New York for a month now.
Next job that we'll work on together. But I think getting them out, we forget about them. We had some bad accidents in New York. And they're not accidents.
Demonic concentration camp.
Controversial.
Let's get a little bit more details on it.
All right, welcome back to CBS News 24/7.
Yeah, but it's going to get infinitely worse, certified garbage. Death beat you over the head with a baseball bat. Sounds like he gets his crime statistics from Looney Tunes cartoons. No, he watches the fucking Sopranos. Alexander. The president is Tony fucking Soprano.
The official opening of the so-called Alligator Alcatraz. That's the new immigrant detention facility, expected to feature more than 5,000 beds in an effective tent city.
Y'all, I remember being inconsolable and having many sleepless, tear-filled nights back in Obama era when kids were in the cages then, and we just keep getting worse. Yeah.
Reporter Camila Montoya Galvez.
The America Ending bill
Camila,
passing, by the way,
the administration or the media that
just
is using
makes all of this worse. You know that, right? Like, once they pass that bill, it's over. Period. The COs are private prison workers? Yeah, they are. You know what? Like, maybe really, like, this may not hit quite as hard until we get an understanding of what happens once they pass the Kill America bill. But I mean, part of that is this.
Mr. President, your beloved New York City may well be led by a communist soon, Zorhan Mandami, who in his nomination speech said he will defy ICE and will not allow ICE to arrest criminal aliens in New York City. Your message to communist Zorhan Mandami.
Well, then we'll have to arrest him. Look, we don't need a communist in this country, but if we have one, I'm going to be watching over him very carefully on behalf of the nation. We send him money. We send him all the things that he needs
ICE
to
has 160 billion, actually, Shard. They get more money than the Marines do. It sinks in slower for me. I notice the stuff when it's too late. Unfortunately, pre-breakfast banana, a lot of people notice the stuff when it's too late, which is why I get so frustrated shouting it from the rooftops, because it's been the plan the whole time. In fact, like, here, take a look at one of the worst people in the world explaining just how bad this is going to be. You have too much empathy, brain matter, for the US and its current emanation. I feel that too. Here's Elon Musk today. Removal of funding for enforcement of federal contempt of court orders is the actual crux of this spending bill. This is nominally aimed at removal of illegal immigrants, but obviously also enables many other abuses of power by the president. Jesus, we have guns. They can take your guns away now, certified garbage. You do realize, like, the Supreme Court ruling on national injunctions means that Trump can just say, I'm passing an executive order that says the ATF is going for all of your guns. And he can do that. And your state attorney general is the only one who can file a class action lawsuit against him for that. You can apply for a personal injunction. Maybe your circuit court might use an injunction. The United States is basically 12 different countries now. New York might say, you know what, you can keep your guns. Whereas Florida says no. Like, they can just do that. Now, anyone lays a finger on Ayatollah's Iran, we're going to war? Elon Musk said that? Yes, Shard, he did. And it's still up 11 hours ago. He hasn't deleted it. People will look back on literal concentration camps and be like, if only we had known then. If only they had known, I don't know, well before, if only we read history or believed it. Trump said in his first term, take their guns first, due process second. He's never given a shit. Pam Bondi literally said we should take the left's guns like 2 months ago. I showed that on stream too. He's from New York. The fact that gun nuts think that he gives a shit about the Second Amendment is laughable. True. Wow, from Elon. Oh no, I see what's coming. Elon will have software to save us all. Elon's not important. Peter Thiel is coming. Palantir is coming for you, and we're already on that list. The man couldn't answer the question of whether he wants the human race to survive the other, day. You understand that, right? Elon Musk knew long before he so strongly endorsed me for president that I was strongly against the EV mandate. It's ridiculous that he always has a major part of my campaign, electric cars, blah, 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 blah. Elon would probably have to close up and shop and head back home to South Africa. No more rocket launches, satellites, or electric car production, and our country would save a fortune. Perhaps we should have Doge take a good hard look at this. Big money to be saved on Elon's subsidies. Elon Musk may get more subsidies than any human being in history, and by far, without subsidies, Elon would probably have close to nothing. Now, he is correct here. He is correct. This is, no, that's not. This is.
The rest. We got a lot of hostages back, but we're going to talk about that. I don't know. I think we'll have to take a look. We might have to put Doge on Elon. You know what Doge is? Doge is the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon.
He literally said, the question was, what are your comments on the claims that you said that you would deport Elon Musk? Here, are you going to deport Elon Musk? We'll have to take a look at that. We might have to put Doge on Elon. It is a threat to deport Elon. So, we need a revolution. Nicholas is too incompetent. Oh, wait, it's 2025, not 1917. Yeah. Imagine going on a Tinder date with Peter Thiel. That would be wild. You know what? I don't think I can say what I want to say with that one. I'd rather eat a foot of sharpened steel, cold steel. I have other ideas. I have 4 other ideas. This is great, Trump and Elon telling on each other. Well, I mean, I really want Elon to call him a pedophile again. It's quite funny. In the comments, just do it. Do it. Let the hate flow through you. Call him a pedophile. Every member of Congress who campaigned on reducing government spending and then immediately voted for the biggest debt increase in history should hang their heads in shame, and they will lose their primary next year if it's the last thing I do on this earth, he said yesterday. This is like the closest they've gotten to an actual split between them. Elon Musk could leverage his assets and buy a fucking small army and start his own nation state if he had his money. The shit I would. Like, the thing is, he can, and that's kind of been the plan. He wanted to do that here. Mate, yes it is. Like, Gataranja, did you not read or listen to the question? The reporter asked, are you going to deport Elon Musk? And his answer is, we'll have to take a look. That's how threats work. Like, the contrarianism in this chat has got to stop. I'm genuinely sick of it. I've had it with it. It's obvious with the insane spending of this bill, which increases the debt ceiling by a record $5 trillion, that we live in a one-party country, the Porky Pig country. While I want you to actually listen and, like, engage fairly, that's, like, do you think that he has to say, yes, I am possibly thinking of deporting Elon Musk is the only way he can say that, not, we'll have to take a look to, are you going to deport the man? Well, we'll have to take a look. Do you think that that's not a threat? Like, if I had a gun and you said, are you going to shoot me? And I said, we'll have to take a look. Would that be a threat or would that not be a threat? Would a judge? There is no judge. What are you talking about? Why would I care what a judge has to think? They don't care what a judge has to think. I'm asking you what you think. If I have a gun and you ask me if I'm going to shoot you, I don't care about legally. There is no law. What, like, why are you talking about legally? I'm asking you a question. If I have a gun and I'm pointing it at you and you ask me if I'm going to shoot you and I say, we'll have to see, am I threatening you? Yes, Onyxander. I would take that as a threat myself. It's worse. Not only do you have a gun, you shot thousands of people every day up until now. Exactly. So imagine I've had a gun and I've shot and killed thousands of people and I'm pointing it at you. It's easier to not think. Well, that's what I'm trying to get past. I want you to think about it because the law isn't the standard of what's true. I don't care whether it's the law or not. I don't care what a judge would say. That's not the standard of truth. That's not the standard of evidence. Court systems are useless now, and that's becoming more and more apparent. Our government is considering deporting one of the best candidates we've seen in a long time. Someone that wants to help as many people as possible. He's under threat of deportation. They are literally talking about denaturalizing you. Like, I don't think this is, really spilling into your head as much. Like, this is all of us are under threat. They're not talking about people who've committed crimes. When you walk a girl home and she invites you in for a coffee and you say, I don't drink coffee, and she says, I don't have any, so you stand there confused? Captain, Rondo, fantastic. Just the act of brandishing a weapon is a threat, that's true, let alone pointing it at somebody. You sound like the Supreme Court on Citizens United. Also, here, let me link this again, just pinning it in the chat, because it might be important to be able to see. I love space theory. Why are we alone? Well, I personally think that we're not, and I also think that there are two real possible options to that, but ask me about that once we're done with death camps, please. We're getting too distracted. Remember, this is Elon Musk's words about the spending bill, and we're building Auschwitz. This is only nominally aimed at the removal of illegal immigrants. It enables many abuses of power by the president. Funding for enforcement of federal contempt of court laws is the crux of this order. Removing it, rather. Ask me about this when we're done with death camps. What a fucking sentence. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the reality we live in. Guys, technically a corporation has people in it, and people spend money to make their voices heard. So technically, corporations are people, and money is speech. Yeah, if only back in the day, we lived in a real country where someone would have just slapped the person who said that and we would have moved on. But we didn't, and now we end up with this.
I was in touch with senators.
The Supreme Court ruled that it doesn't exist and there's no law. Yeah.
And
the country's dead. America died. They killed it.
I will tell you, there was a point where they were short one vote. And I know that there are some changes, and from the beginning you said and asked John Thune, you asked senators to make minimal changes possible. They have to deal with the reconciliation process. That does complicate things on their end. They have to deal with the Senate parliamentarian. That complicates things. Would you say 85 to 90% it's identical?
Yes, that's great, Sean. Good to be with you. 85 to 90% of this bill is the House-generated product. The Senate made some modifications to it. They made it more conservative in some places and moderated it a little bit in others. But I tell you what, as the president said so well today, this is no longer just a House bill. It's not a Senate bill.
Auschwitz.
It's the bill of the
this term Alligator Alcatraz. People may not remember, Alcatraz was actually a prison where people who had been convicted of crimes went to serve out their prison sentence. This is not a jail. This is not a prison. Some of these folks have not had their due process. Am I right about that?
No, this is civil immigration detention. You're right, Vlad. This is not punitive, or at least it's not supposed to be punitive, because even the folks who are in civil immigration detention who have criminal charges or convictions are not serving time in prison for those convictions. They have already done so in a federal, state, or local jail or prison. It is really important to note that the Florida Attorney General,
what is on his head?
This phrase, Alligator Alcatraz, has said that this will be temporary in nature, that migrant detainees will be housed
it's a death
in
camp
tents and trailers.
You do realize that in ICE prisons now, we've already had many deaths. In Texas right now, the immigration detention facilities, the concentration camps that these people are being kept in have lack of food, water. Like, people are dying in them now. We have 13 reported deaths in ICE custody so far, and that's reported deaths. And you know that they're going to be underreporting. Of course they are, because it's the state. Why would they ever report if they don't need to? It amazes me that you people believe what's being fed to you when it's all a fantasy. Here is a Republican. How many deaths does it take to quantify a prison to a death camp? It's not about how many deaths, it's about the intention. Also, can you please tell me where the women are? Where are all the women ICE is arresting? Because none of them are in El Salvador. Where are they? What's up, Long Leg Homo Sapien? What are the alligators in this context?
It's time to speak up. We have got to stop calling these places where we are holding immigrants detention centers and call them what they are. They're concentration camps. We are getting reports out of my state of Texas that people at family detention centers,
you know, like even
are having to fight
the Nazis
water
didn't really
there's not enough to go around.
No, like the people that lived in Nazi Germany didn't know just how bad the camps were until after the war, after the camps were broken into and the people were freed and evidence was collected. There are literally claims that are verifiable, not unverifiable, not verifiable for some, all like manner of them, because we have no paper trail. We don't have court records. You don't know where these people go. But you do see planes that are related to, and like generally these planes' numbers are associated with federal immigration flights to other countries. And there are claims that sometimes people don't land in the countries when they're meant to. These people just don't show up. They're expected to, but they're not there. What are they doing with them? It's not like in the past we haven't seen authoritarian governments, especially American allied authoritarian governments, just toss people out of a plane into the ocean. We've helped do that before. We've done this in the 70s. Why wouldn't we do it now? Now, are we doing that now? Do I know? No, I don't know. I can't verify that, but I do know that people are dying.
because we are holding them in conditions that are inhumane. There's no medical treatment. There's not enough food. There's not enough water. And we are allowing this. This is happening on our watch. I would say God forgive us, but he will not. He will not, because forgiveness is predicated on repentance. And this country will not repent. Some of us are cheering it.
Which one are you? Are you cheering it on, or are you looking away?
To see what's going on.
I would rather you fight against it.
Well, I will not look away. I will bear witness to what is happening. And I will say until I have no breath and no strength in me that this is wrong and it must stop.
The whole point of a death is to kind of hide it so the population doesn't know. So if you're kind of unsure, have doubts, that's the point. Yeah. Like, there is no Supreme Court. There is no law protecting you. Trump could literally, the day before the midterms in 26, say, okay, only white men are allowed to vote and mail-in votes don't matter. And he can do that. What are they going to do? What's going to happen then? If he tried to do that, what would be the next step for opposition? Well, the courts can't file an injunction. Sure, the states could, file their own for their little district. It's too late because the election already happened, and white landowning men, rather. That's already in the process of becoming a law, Visora. Well, that's what I mean. The thing is, they can just do that, and then what? And then how do you fight that? Only white landowners. Go back to the old days. God damn, I missed landowners. When it comes to terms like genocide or death camp, we are so used to encountering them only referred to history, but history is happening right now. Yeah. Can't have those regular workers voting. No, like I said, the entire purpose of the economic struggle here is the state wants you to struggle. If food is expensive, housing is expensive, you are stressed, you don't have health care, you are more likely to commit a crime. And if you commit a crime, then they can put you in prison and then enslave you. That's the whole point. I mean, to be fair, they're going to enslave you anyway, but they still like to have the pretext for now. People were floating only men should vote last year. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. This was from women. It's crazy. Yeah, I remember that. It was insane. And people thought I was crazy when I said, no, after they make it so no one can have an abortion again, the next thing they're going to come for is women's right to vote. And they're already talking about that.
There will be no mercy for us because we know what's happening and we're cheering it or we're refusing to acknowledge it.
Go love your neighbor. Based white woman. Look away. Noam Chomsky had that kind of imagination, unfortunately. Yeah.
Brick and mortar permanent facilities, because at the end of the day, the people who are going to be held here will be
again, no one's being deported because deportation requires a court proceeding. Oh, hello, welcome Raiders. Shout out to Peacefire Now. Look, they've never cared. They never have. They're not going to. We're holding detainees from Africa, Asia, and Europe in Guantanamo right now. Like right now. Trump has threatened this for since his first term of I want to be able to deport or put US citizens in camps. They want to kill you. The entire point of the crocodiles, mind you, is so they can feed you to them. That's the whole point. Here's some examples of Alligator Auschwitz today. And this moron talking about it while we're at it.
I guess that's the concept. This is not a nice business. I guess that's the concept. If the snakes are fast, but alligators are, but we're going to teach them how to run
Living Lily.
Away from an alligator, okay? If they escape prison.
Excuse me. What do you mean, watch your language for TOS? You know, there's nothing that is being said here that's TOS, and honestly, I don't even really care. Yet you're the one arguing, saying that this isn't a death camp. Yeah, this is fucking insightful, though. You know what else is insightful? This.
The chances go up about
you know,
1%.
just love seeing the White House posting Jurassic Park-ass alligators with ice hats. Make America safe again? Maybe if they ate all of the ice agents, that might actually do it. I don't think we've done gators around prisons since like ancient Rome. So this is like a insane thing to do. This is a moat around the castle, or rather a fortress. And again, the point here, like, I don't think that this is one of the labor ones. This is more of a death camp. You don't really build a moat and fill it with crocodiles if you just want to send the slaves there. We're building plenty of slave camps as well, though, so I don't know. They can try and manufacture consent for this all they want, but here is Hitler, but the annihilation of the Jewish race in Europe, and here's Trump. Trump calls for deporting U.S. citizens. We have a lot of bad people that have been here for a long time, and many of them were born in this country. I think we ought to get them the hell out of here, too. If you want to know the truth, so maybe that'll be the next job. Tell me that there is a difference between these, because I don't see one. Trump's like prison escape fantasy. Yeah, well, like, we should put him in the prison and have him try and escape. That'd be fun. Let's just put Trump in Alcatraz and put cameras in there and have it be like an escape room that he can't get out of. And then put Miller in there too. And then everyone else in the regime. And then we close the doors and then we lock them. And then we pay someone to, you know, like watch the place. And it's all just an escape room, you know? Trump is literally doing what Hitler did. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's not like they were hiding it. They were saying they were going to do this the whole fucking time. It's like Trump supporters in Florida are mad about this as if they didn't vote for this, because they did. They did vote for this.
Let's roll back the clock even more. This is the president arriving there in South Florida on his way to that
I'm going to make some
so-called
tea. I can still hear that.
Alligator Alcatraz. You see Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Also looks like Rick Scott, also of the state of Florida, there next to Kristi Noem. Chanel Call is joining us right now. She's been speaking to some of those Floridians who are really pushing back against this project called Alligator Alcatraz. Tell us more of what they had to say, Chanel.
Yeah, and we've been hearing from some of them the last couple of days, Reed. Among those protesting what Florida Republicans are now calling Alligator Alcatraz
in the Florida Everglades. Not only is this a place where they're going to put U.S. citizens, but they're funding it with FEMA money. So every Trump supporter that lives in Florida, when your house gets destroyed by a hurricane this hurricane season and no one comes to help you, just know that that's because you helped pay for the concentration camp. You helped build Auschwitz with your disaster relief money. I hope you're proud of what you voted for. The real question that isn't being investigated, who owns and what are they charging U.S. taxpayers for its use? Well, if we're talking about the prisons, it's mostly like Core Civic and Geo Group, which are the two main private prison contractors that are working with the Trump administration and with ICE, and they've made like bank. Trump supporters trying to act like it's not their fault. I'm sorry for not educating. Like, they have excuses for everything because their entire belief system is built on whining. That's all it is. I voted for the Gestapo, but I didn't think they'd take my dad. Yeah, basically. Sadly true. It is. We need to get reality back. We coddle ourselves. We're too afraid of feeling uncomfortable. We see bad news and we look away because it's uncomfortable. It's the same thing with, like, if I start talking about Gaza, the viewer count goes down because it's sad and people don't want to watch it. We want to go and watch, I don't know, streamer drama slop like Ethan Klein videos or some shit instead, because that's easy. That's easy. You don't have to do anything. Whereas you're watching this in the country that you live in. Some of you live in Florida and they're building a death camp in your state, and watching this, it is hard. Because you have to do something about it. No one's going to save these people. You have to save these people. And by watching it and by analyzing it, you then feel like you're not doing enough. And so you look away because you don't want to get up and do anything.